What small thing pisses you off more than usual? Any sticker that you can't peel off in one piece. Absolutely infuriating. Yes, though, tip, if you're trying to get residue off something that you can get wet, like a glass jar, lemon essential oil is magical. I guess the acids affect the sticky residue. It rub the oil over the mess until it comes off, then rinse with soap and water. Getting home after being out all day, taking off my pants, shoes, etc. and then having to go back out for something stupid. Once my wife takes her bra off for the day, it engages a 12-hour emotional lockdown where she won't step outside for a herd of the world's cutest puppies giving away gold bars. People who stand in front of exits entrances having a conversation. Right there. Blocking the way. Blocking the aisle in a grocery store is equally infuriating, especially when they're standing in front of something you need. When I was 14, this miserable old couple was standing in the middle of an aisle with their cart right beside them, taking up almost the entire width of the aisle. I needed to get by, so I said, "Excuse me, I just got to sneak by." They just scoffed at me and went back to their bitching about the prices. I went to sneak my cart by them and I bumped their cart a little bit accidentally. They got mad and the woman went off about how this damn younger generation is so disrespectful. Your mother should be ashamed in how she raised you. I told them to cry me a river and the woman lost her fucking mind. She told her husband someone needs to whip that little bastard's ass. Can you believe the nerve? The husband just snapped enough at her and she gasped like he just slapped her. I may have caused a divorce. People asking questions and then not listening for the answer. I have a different job now because my last boss did this so often. People walking 10% slower than you in front of you while you have no opportunity to pass them. Or the group of 4 or 5 people who walk in a damn formation so that no one shall pass. Fuck them too. I get so frustrated by this I typically bellow out, make a hole. When this technique is employed properly, the sea of people part as if I were Moses. The classic Red Rover maneuver. Moses would have been a great ambulance driver. People not letting people off the subway or out of elevators. Getting off the subway, I just keep walking through them while yelling, "I have to get out before you get it." That's how this works and it usually helps. I just stare at them and keep walking out. Works most of the time. The only time that happens is on school day mornings and it's like 6th graders pushing in. Public Bluetooth speaker guy. Drivers that break right of way to be nice, it's your turn to go. Fucking go. I've read somewhere that this "you go first" gestures in traffic is sometimes called the wave of death, because it makes stuff like this happen. It's quite common. As a disabled pedestrian, if you try to wave me across the road and I wave for you to continue, just fucking go. I'm trying to save us both time and embarrassment. Just needed to throw that out there. I once saw a Reddit thread asking for good general advice and someone wrote, "When you drive, don't be nice, be predictable." I find myself thinking of it often when driving. So thanks to that stranger. Not covering your damn mouth when you cough or sneeze. Or when adults cough or sneeze directly into their hands. Then don't wash or sanitize. They should know better. I sneeze directly into my asshole. My mucus is no one's problem but my own. People continuing to explain something to me after I've said I know at least thrice. Or people explaining something to you without checking to see if you already know said thing. I just hate when someone I know gets into something I'm low-key enthusiastic about and starts lecturing me about it. People telling me to do things that I was going to do. My brother and I have this game where one of us will ask the other person to do something right before they do it. So if I know he's about to go put his plate in the sink, he'll just say, "Hey, could you put your plate in the sink for me? Thanks." It's hilarious every time. My GF and I do this when driving around, giving directions we already know to each other. Take a left up here. I fucking know that this is my street. I'm a taxi driver. Sometimes I will travel for 7 miles to the most obscure destinations, and right as I'm 30 seconds away the passenger will say it's the next left, like I had only took the previous 28 corners correctly by some divine intervention from a bearded skyman. People who always try to one-up your situation. Tell them you've got a cold and they'll respond, "I've had pneumonia for 10 years or some shit." My sister dated a guy like this for a few years. It was so fucking annoying. Anytime I described something happening to me, I'd always come up with something one up my story. I started calling him One Up Pete. The type of people who can never just admit they screwed up. Doesn't matter how small the mistake is. When confronted, they always have an excuse or a story. Just fucking say I'm sorry and move on. I don't need an essay on why you did what you did. It's not that big of a deal. I know someone that refuses to ever accept they were wrong, let alone apologize for it. They are infallible and it's so frustrating. Safe to say we don't talk much anymore. I've had bosses like this. They accept zero responsibility. It's not even them explaining why they did. It's always how and why it's someone else's fault. Grocery store shoppers that leave their cart in the middle of the aisle so no one can pass by as they bend over to read labels. They seem oblivious to others trying to get by and don't take the hint when a shopper makes a sound to get their attention. While at a restaurant, people just needing to have the volume on their phones turned up to max while they either listen to trash music or let their kid play some game, and said game sounds like a damn slot machine. Nobody around you wants to hear it. Also with earbuds in, something catching the cord and having them violently ripped out of your ears. When I was a waitress I got stiffed on a tip because of this. Table is 12. 2 families. 2 bills. Took up almost my entire section. Mom let her little girl play a slot machine sounding game on her phone at full volume and it could honestly be heard everywhere in the restaurant. Myself and another server asked the manager what we could do about it and he said nothing because no other guest had complained. Eventually that other server went behind both our backs and asked the woman to turn the volume down. She was not happy, complained to the manager, got some comps, and both families left me absolutely nothing as a tip. Being that I had to pay the restaurant a certain percentage of my sales, I actually paid to serve them. The other server was afraid the noise would affect how her guests tip her, so that's why she did it. Also fuck that policy of letting someone ruin everyone's good time because no one has spoken up yet. It was obviously annoying many other people. Birds that fly in front of cars. You have the whole sky. Damn it. Those squirrels that sit near the road and dart across the moment you get there but instead decide to live at the last second and turn back. You think you're safe and continue on only for them get confused, turn back around and die on accident anyway. Fuckers. Any slight amount of input delay on games like Mario Kart or Mortal Kombat. Hate that shit. I can just feel it too. Same thing with audio slightly out of sync. Pisses me off more when you're playing with friends and you keep fucking with the settings and everyone's like, bro, it's fine. What are you doing? It's just you, bro, I don't feel anything. Then you do fix it and point it out and then they're like, oh yeah, it does feel different. Still not a big deal though. Yes it fucking is, cause we keep fucking up basic shit and it's annoying. Using Reddit on my mobile and trying to click a link but end up minimizing the comments, so I got her going with my sausage fingers and click on it but accidentally minnows a response. Happened to me twice on this thread alone. People who talk down about themselves hoping you'll disagree and compliment them. At my first job I ran into this. There was this young 20-ish woman who would always say she was overweight, only it was all the time because she wanted validation about how thin she was, and to be honest she was overly thin. One day I was sick of her crap and said, Karen, you do look like you've been eating a few too many snacks. Maybe hit the gym or something. Holy hell, did I get a death glare from her. I can't stand being told you chose whether your day is good or bad when talking to someone about having a bad day. I know focusing on the positive is good, but sometimes I am just having a shitty day. Ah, yes, toxic positivity. Washing a spoon and making myself wet with a flood wave. People who chew loudly or with their mouth open. It's just one of those things that shouldn't piss me off but drives me insane. When people don't use their turn signals when driving. People who tailgate me when I'm going over the speed limit on a 2-lane road. Get off my ass or go around. Even worse are the people who tailgate you when there's 2 or 3 cars in front of you who are going slow. What do they want me to do? Ram the person in front of me? I can literally only go as fast as the cars in front until it's safe to pass on the left. That's when I'll let off the gas pedal and let my car just slow down until they do pass me. If you're going to follow that close, then I'm going to drive at a slow enough speed for that to be safe. When your curtain leaves a tiny gap, letting a ray of sunshine penetrate your eyeballs. Drivers who text at the red light then don't go when it turns green. People who must always have the last word and cannot apologize without adding a but. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you've got to see it from my perspective. Little children running into my room and then leaving, repeat 100 times. When people can't outright say no to me and waste my time stalling instead. I rage internally when I can't get a fucking straight answer. Yes, no, I don't care which, just fucking tell me, goddamn. When people don't replace the toilet roll.